There's certainly philosophers after Kierkegaard, but for me, I am more than happy to end with him. And Kierkegaard was a Danish philosopher. Whenever I go to conferences, I always pronounce his name Gar. It's kind of funny. They'll be talking about Søren Kierkegaard. But Søren, he's writing in the early 1800s in Denmark, and he is actually a Christian philosopher. But unlike Marx, when he looked at Hegel's dialectic, he loved the God piece, that yes, history is about God moving through, interacting with, and redeeming mankind. But he hated his ivory tower piece, this idea of everything was just this neat little recipe of point, counterpoint, synthesis. And Kierkegaard's like, have you walked around the streets lately? Have you seen the poverty, the degradation, the abuse? And what about that part? What about this internal subjective self? So where Marx was really appealing to the collective, I mean, he really cared about the working class people. He didn't want them to just become like cogs in this corporate machine, but that they would have some sense of self and worth, but not as individuals, but as a collective of humanity. Kierkegaard, on the other hand, was all in for the individualism. In fact, radical individualism. In fact, on his gravestone, he just said, all I want written is the individual. And he was focused on this idea of experiential truth. And this is why I like to give him the title of the father of existentialism. Can anyone tell me what existentialism is? It's a trick question. The reason it's a trick question is it's so hyper-individualistic that each of you could give me whatever definition you wanted, and they would be equally valid. Whoa. So what I'm going to give you are a list of existential themes that some, but not all, existentialists may or may not adhere to. But you have to look at it really kind of loosey-goosey like that, because the whole point with the individualism is you don't get to define me or even my terms for me. I get to say what my words mean. Okay? And so these are themes that many existentialists would agree apply.